Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of College Mom Dropouts podcast. Of course, I'm Monty Mills,
And I'm Erica.
and today we are going to be speaking on the topic, help. I am stuck in a cycle of comparison. Ooh,
I know everybody's been there, so
Yes.
I'm glad that we're going to address it.
I am too. And I feel like, we planned the topic and it has actually been, like, I actually went through it this week. So I'm kind of glad that we get to kind of dive into that and talk about it.
All right, so let's do it.
So I feel like my moment of comparison this week was, I was just online. I've been up. Okay, first of all, I've been sick. I was sick. It was spring break for the kids. And I was sick for like a week. I was sick for like a week. And so I haven't been to the gym in a week. And so it's just like my whole morale, my energy, everything is just very, very low. So I've just kind of been off routine, even as far as like my bedtime schedule. Like I normally go to sleep like 9 o'clock. I've been up late and just a lot on my mind. So I say that to say, of the nights that I've been up late, I found myself on social media scrolling. And one thing I got distracted with is of course, the algorithm is now showing me podcasts, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I've been seeing a lot of podcasts, and I went to one page in particular, and I'm looking, and I'm like, dang, they did this. Dang, they got that. Dang, I'm looking at their YouTube, and I'm like, oh my gosh, their thumbnails look like this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we got so much work to do. But not necessarily, but I'm just saying that was my feelings in that moment. And it was just I'm glad that we get to talk about it, because it's just so important to know that comparison is really like the thief of joy. It will take away, it will have you feeling like you are, for lack of better words, nothing, right? Because you're comparing to something or, someone that you think is everything, And so, I had to get myself together, but it was just a really good example of how I was like in that type of vibe of like, oh my goodness, of course we're just starting out. Neither one of us has done this before.
Never, right.
And, we're doing a great job. But in that moment, I just was feeling like, oh my gosh, we still got so much to do. But I know it'll come with time. Like everything comes with time and, experience. And we're figuring things out along the way. So anyways, that was my comparison moment that I had this week that stressed me out a little bit.
Girl, social media is crazy. Like it's so curated.
Yeah.
Everything is. You got to keep that in mind. So it's easy for us to go down the rabbit hole and be like, ooh, look what she got. But really, we're getting literally snapshots of people's best moments, or, again, like curated moments.
Because people put out what they want you to know. Of course, people aren't sharing bad stuff. They're just putting out, all of the good stuff. Or throughout my workout journey, because, again, the algorithm, they'll show you what you thinking and what you talking about. So I saw a lot of posts that I appreciated with, like, influencers showing, like, reality versus Instagram. And so they'll do something like, they'll show one angle, right, where their stomach's sticking out, but then they'll show another angle where they sucking it in, and it's like, be careful of perception, because you may be looking at this person like they snatched all the way together, and really they just, holding certain angles and doing certain things. So like comparison in, just everyday life, comparison in motherhood, comparison in body image. I mean, social media just really can be the devil. Social media has its pros and cons, right? But like,
playground.
Yes.
I'm convinced.
Yes.
Because there is so much that goes into it. So basically, that's your mom load this week.
I guess so.
And it just rolls right into the topic.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
For sure. Do you have an experience where you can relate
oh my God,
to just compare?
Every day. If we can be real, that's just every day. Like, we all get on social media every single day. Even if we're not on social media, we could be before our social media, in the mall, in an organization you're a part of, whatever it is, it's always going to be something that you feel like you might just be a little behind the curve. But like we said, like these are moments in time. Nobody can be perfect all the time.
Exactly.
Literally nobody can be perfect all the time. And honestly, our imperfections are allowed to us. Other people don't even see them the way we see them. Earlier, I forget what you said earlier.
Bone makeup. And you was like, we so hard on ourselves. Because I said something on my makeup, on my lipstick.
Makeup, and I'm like, girl, I wouldn't even notice that, you know. And then me saying, like, I told you about this. And you're like, well, I didn't notice it till you brought it up. But that's what we do. Sometimes we even rush to, like, point out things before somebody else can. Like, have you ever caught yourself doing that? Being like, oh, well, you know, I got this on me or that on me. And it's like, well, if you would have never brought it up,
I wouldn't even have noticed.
Have known.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just like the fear of you seeing it and me feeling like
insecurity. Yeah, calling out the insecurities.
It's an insecurity, but really, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Most people aren't looking that deep at it. And honestly, I don't want to be in rooms with nobody who is really looking at me like, oh, she didn't check this box. Okay, she's not walking this way. I went somewhere and this lady was talking about not having sleeves. Like, literally not having sleeves. And I was like, somebody getting turned on by my shoulders? Why do I need to be wearing sleeves? Like, that's ridiculous to me. But that's things that people can now put in my head to make me be like, oh,
maybe they build that, like, insecurity aspect of it.
The insecurities it's crazy how they come about in things like that. So I don't have a specific moment, no, but just like you,
in general, every day,
in the middle of the night, when we need to put those phones down, like they tell us the screen time down, and we don't do it, and we find ourselves on social media scrolling, and we be like, she got her kids in so many extracurricular activities.
Right.
I need to put my kid in more extracurricular activities. But really, you're running around all day. You run around. Most days, I have something going on with my kids, honestly, or myself. And I used to be like, why don't I post on Instagram, or, you know, like the life that people are posting about on Instagram really is a life that I live.
Right.
And I'm like, well, if they're getting paid off of it, maybe I should start posting. Tried to put up a camera a few times. I'm like, this looks terrible. Like,
because you're your biggest critic.
They're more experienced than me. I can't do this. They know the angles. They know the algorithms. But really, girls, just turn the camera on and go.
Right.
I don't really think that's for me to do that. But, you know, the people who do it, kudos to them.
Yeah.
But it's just hard. Like, I probably would have started if I didn't think I'm not ready. My kids don't have enough. The aesthetics aren't there. If I would worry about the aesthetics and what things look like so much, well, I guess I should say I was worried about it so much, then I never started.
It stopped you. And that is very good that you pointed that out. For one, we would love to hear from you if you struggle with, you know, just these type of moments. You know, we would love to hear your stories. You can DM us, you can comment below, and just let us hear your stories as well about, you know, struggling with comparison and how you overcame that obstacle. But I think that that's a good topic because I feel like that held me back on my family page a lot in the beginning. And, okay, two things. One is, a lot of times when I would find myself comparing my motherhood or whatever with other people, I noticed that I got 4 kids. That person would have 1 or maybe 2. Okay. So that in itself is like, girl, you comparing yourself to a lifestyle and a routine that is completely opposite of what your life is, for one. I forgot where I was going with the other one. We was talking about...
But, you know, to the point that you just made, something
I'm sorry. I remember. I was just going to say, so I would, like, so I have girls with a lot of hair. Yeah. So I would be so nervous to post because I'd be like, oh my gosh, my baby's hair is not done. Like when you were talking about the aesthetics, right? I would be so nervous that I would not want to post because I would feel like I don't have it all together. My house may be messy in the background. But like I also had to put it to the side. Like, this is real life. Yeah. This is my real life. Their hair ain't always together. Exactly. My house ain't always clean. You know what I'm saying? And not clean as in dirty, but I'm just saying toys may be all over the place or whatever because they stay home. So my world is crazy. So yes, like you said, like thinking that everything has to be perfect will definitely set you back from accomplishing those little things because you're overthinking them too much versus just being you.
And sometimes I like what I was about to say is sometimes you can see influencers, right, who really have been doing this for a while. Yeah. But you're just getting on their page or they're just having...
Exactly, that's true.
...their 4th kid or 3rd kid or whatever it is. And we're like, well, they did this, that, and the third, but they really been doing this for a
long time. And in the beginning, they probably look like what you look like right now.
They have no kids. Let's just, there's a lot of influencers I follow. They had kids after I did. They're just starting to have kids after they were well established. So they had the house, they had the car, they had the following. Mm-hmm. They knew how to put themselves together already. Right. Starting it from scratch.
Yeah.
With the kids on your hip, it's never going to be pretty.
Yeah,
like, let's just be real. That's not going to be pretty.
Right.
So we got to know how to break away from that, and be grateful for where we are. I think I've done a lot of self-work to be like, it's social media, keep scrolling. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I will be upset with my husband or something and be like, look at that cute picture we posted the other day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, that's so true.
There's no argument, or there's no tension, or there's no discord. There is, but we do a lot of work to bring it back together. So you don't see that work. We're not sitting on Instagram Live or putting on my story like, look at us in therapy. Look at me.
Right.
Ignoring him. You know what I'm saying? So we never ever see the messy. But I do think the girlies, the content girlies, they're doing a good job at walking that back now. Like, I'm seeing a lot of girls showing the unfiltered side of things. Have you noticed that?
No.
I feel like maybe it's just the people I follow.
Yeah.
Because I don't really follow too many people. But if you're real and authentic, I follow you.
Yeah, for sure.
That's my type of content.
Right.
And so I feel like I've been seeing a lot of girls showing this is what the playroom looked like when I showed it to y'all, but this is really what it looks like every day. And I appreciate that type of content.
No, for sure. Because people need to see that. Because, everybody isn't strong enough to look at that every day and think that that's what life is supposed to look like. Right. So I do think that people need those examples. That realness, that... Yeah, every day is not, your house is not going to be spot clean. I do, my best friend, she has a maid that comes every week. I'm like, girl, that's what I need to do. Because I believe she comes one time a week. But she was like, it's really not worth it because the house be messy in like a day or two.
Exactly. But last week I wanted to have a housekeeper come. I'm like, so I can appreciate that hour that it looks good.
I know, but I do think that it's worth it. Like, I've been like, okay, I think that I should do this because just with, again, the load that we have and, most people have, it is very hard for me. Like, I force myself to do it, of course, because I want to clean house. I dedicate a day to do all of my cleaning, but it's just a lot. Yeah, Sundays are cleaning days. So Sundays, I mostly do laundry. Sundays, I try to clean the bath. Me and James, we clean the bathrooms, mop the floor. Like, we have to.
So I need some Sunday reset videos from you.
You're right. You're right. And I always think about them. Like, they're always in my head, but that's where content creation is hard for me because I'm the type of person where certain things I can't record. Certain things, it's just, I'm in that moment. I don't got time to be, let me sweep real quick. Let me push play. Okay, let me go sweep something. All right, let me stop. All right, now let me go do the dishes. Girl, I'm in my cleaning vibe. I gotta. It's very hard.
And I'll be in my robe with my bonnet and I just look crazy.
But I feel like that's why it ain't for, for those who it's for, it's who it's for. And that's why even like when I talk about content creation and like the way that I do mine, and even like with the brand collaborations and stuff that I get, I know that I could be doing more to get more, right? But I know that that's just not me. So you see me posting, I post moments versus every day, hey guys, here we are, we're here today, we're about to do this. I was like, we go to Grateful Lodge, I'm gonna try to vlog the whole trip.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not for me. Like, I'm just not the girl that's gonna have I like to live in a moment. I like to be in a moment with my family. I like to have fun and enjoy my family. I can't, and I get it, I get it. That's the type of content though that gets the big bucks, the YouTubers and things like that. But it's just not something that I can like commit to. So what you put in is what you get out of it. And that's why I just keep my flow at what I do on social media. But yeah, definitely just, understanding that behind closed doors ain't nobody perfect. I know a lot of times I have to, as far as resetting, I've deleted the app completely off my phone, and I'll do it for like a week, because I'll say, all right, I'm gonna get off Instagram for a week, but as long as it's on my phone, the habit
It's a
of
habit,
just tapping it is going to be there. So I'll delete it. I'll delete my Instagram app, my Facebook app, whatever, TikTok app. Delete it. That way I don't even have access to it for an entire week. And honestly, it does wonders for your mental health.
Yeah, I usually get off. I mean, I fast at least twice a year, and I will get off completely for like 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
Like 6 weeks. And it's great. I enjoy not knowing what's going on.
Me too.
It feels so much better not knowing what's going on, who's doing this, who did what, who got engaged here. And, you know, I mean, I love celebrating those special moments with people, but I really do enjoy disconnecting because I also like to live in the moment. There are so many moments in my phone I'm like, this is great. We go a lot of places, we do a lot of things, but what makes it to Instagram is like probably 20% of what we actually do.
Exactly.
But I do, you know, I'll post stories that it's gonna be gone in 24 hours. I'll post stories from time to time. So maybe I am better with the real time, but then when it comes to actually uploading it to my
putting
page,
it together, yeah,
it's over. The moment's done. We've gone on to the next thing. So.
Right.
And the picture is probably gonna look crazy. My mouth is open. We screaming. You know, it's just not gonna look.
Or not. Maybe you're being a critic. Maybe you're being your biggest critic.
Maybe I'm being a critic. I don't know, but I do know that little things like that are things I've struggled with. And you know, going to your now fitness journey on, which I did notice that you took a break last week, and I thought about that. Maybe it's because I don't know. You know,
it was because I was sick. I was sick, and then it was hard for me to get back in the flow of the kids being on spring break and me being sick. Like, so to, you know, when I go back to school, my flow will start because it's like, okay, I have to get back in my routine of taking, you know, the kids to school, etc. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to tomorrow to just get back in my groove for sure. But it is definitely depressing. Okay, not depressing. I'm being dramatic. But, you know, like I said, I just been off and I feel it completely, wholeheartedly. Everything just feels off.
Yeah. I want to get there, and I think that's one thing. I can't say I really don't look at fitness influencers and feel like I need to be doing that. I don't know if it's the self-work that I've done not to care or whatever. Maybe it's because like people might think I'm naturally thin. I do have a natural thin stature, but I'm not like, I don't got that flat stomach. I got stretch marks all the way up to almost like
beauty marks,
whatever y'all want to call them, girls. They're not that cute to me. But I really struggle with that. That's what it is for me. It's like, I was telling my husband yesterday, or I don't know when it was, but I was just like, wow, I'm going to be able to wear a cute crop top outfit like these other girls, you know, soon when I get my little tummy tuck, girl, if I do one day. But it's because I'm not blessed to have the genetics where there's no stretch marks or anything like that. I literally am stretched out. My kids, they did a number on me, and I don't know, I struggle with that. Like, I'm always asking people, I probably ask you, like, how you don't got no stretch marks? How you don't have any stretch marks? But it's hard to see your body go from this really flat tummy. And the first time it stretched out, I did have stretch marks after my first, but I was like, whatever. Still pretty thin. Got too skinny, actually. And then the more kids, it was like they got higher and higher. Yeah. So it was harder to hide them. So now I've just had to learn like how to dress. I don't like crop tops. I'll say that.
So let me ask you this. So there's no embracing it with you?
No. That's what I was gonna say. I have to learn how to dress that makes me feel like, oh, I still feel beautiful about this now.
But when I say embracing it, I'm saying as far as you don't, because you said you don't think it's cute. So there's no, because you see it on, like, let's be real. We see on social media when people have stretch marks, it's like, no, it's beautiful. This, in your opinion, you don't feel as though it's beautiful.
No, I won't say that. I'll say for me, because of the way it is. Like, I feel like I'll never not have stretch marks. So I said, okay, I'll get a tummy tuck, right? I know that even with a tummy tuck, I'll still have stretch marks. But for me, I have extra skin because I was like, skinnier. So that's more so what I mean for me right now. But I don't mind. I've always had the tiger marks on my side. Even though I was skinny, I always had those. Always had them here. And they didn't bother me. See, and they don't bother me when I see them on other people. It's just for me personally, I'm like, I want them like lessen. I want at least the extra skin gone. And then I don't care. I'll wear them. So
for me, I only ask because I'm the opposite. Like, I feel like so many women say, oh, you know, it's beautiful or whatever. I personally, because it's not that I don't have stretch marks. I just don't, I do have a couple and I don't like them. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I asked, because I am one of the ones who feel like people like, oh, you know, it's beautiful. But like you said, I don't like it on me. Like you said, you look at it before, you look at it after. Like, you know, you appreciate what your body has done, of course. But like you said, there are moments where you know, like you say, oh, you know, maybe I can't wear this crop top. You can, you know, but it's just how do you feel about it, right? Exactly. So yeah, I definitely, you know, and I'm sure, you know, people can relate to that as well. Like how are you supposed to feel it? Like, it is what it is, so you got to be able to be like, okay, it's okay.
But there's ways to fix it. I feel like, okay, so I'm so torn with it because I never want to sound like a hypocrite. Because sometimes when some girls be getting BBLs, I'm like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? You know? And now, but I'll be like, well, I kind of want to go get me a mommy makeover. Now, it is different in my opinion. I have to be honest. Where it's like your body was altered. So now you're trying to restore it to what it was. So you can feel confident. Versus, I just want a big old bodacious booty. If you want that, sure, go ahead and get it. You know? But like, to me, it's only when, like, I start to see when they be wanting more and more and more in the butt. That's when but I struggle, like, am I being hypocritical by asking, like, why do you keep getting surgery? And then I'm saying I want surgery.
Yeah, I guess so. So let me ask you that. Kind of. Because surgery is surgery, right? I mean, I get it. Everybody have different reasons. But, I mean, surgery is surgery. So let me ask you this. Your husband saying, babe, you look good. You don't need to do nothing. Is that not enough? And I'm just asking. Is it enough? Or do you feel like... Because... I get, you know, women, we always say, well, we're not doing it for the man. We're doing it for ourselves, right? But let's just say for women who are, you know, married. I mean, I'm just asking. I'm just opening up the conversation. What do you feel? Is it enough for your husband to say, babe, you look good. You don't need to do no surgery? Or do you feel like your confidence is what matters most? Even though you got your husband, you have your family and everything like that, you feel as though you have to look a certain way in order to be good with you.
I can say this, and I don't mean anything like, you know, like, I don't think he would feel any type of way, because I think we've had this conversation. I don't think it's enough. Like, God, how do I put this? Ooh, okay, I wouldn't say it's not enough, because I appreciate that and I need that from him. But I also want to feel good for me. So to say it's enough just because he said you look good, to me is not enough, because I also have that piece of me who needs to love me too. So yes, you are doing great by giving me that that sense of encouragement, and you know, I love that because you're my partner. I want that from you. If you weren't giving me that, it would tear me down.
Right.
I am not down here because I have stretch marks.
Right.
Or my body is not where I want to be.
Right.
I'm still very much so love myself.
Right.
But I know, like, okay, one day I do just want that tighten up. So maybe, you know, like, it's okay to want things for yourself and to not like something. Even if your partner, I believe this. If your partner is telling you, I don't think you need to change it, but if you're not happy with it, because you actually can't wear your partner's confidence out the house.
Right.
You know? They can build you up in private, but you can't go out and put their confidence on and wear it down the street.
Yeah.
And go into work and go into wherever you need to go. It can be a part of what builds you, but you have to wear it for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be confident for yourself.
For sure.
It shows on your face. It shows on your body language. It shows in your conversation. You know, I know a lot of women who are scared to just admit, I don't love me. And it projected. They projected terribly. And you're like, why are you a mean girl? Why are you not? Are you not happy? And then, they don't want to hear that, so they're like, I'm happy, I'm good, instead of just doing the work to figure out, like,
what it would dig down to really do the like, inside work, for sure.
Do I really love myself? Am I really, like, the thing I love about you, because I think this happens and people don't like to say it. I think it actually is said, but the thing people like about people, it's called hating, right? I like that about you, so I'm gonna be like, it's all right on you. Make you feel bad about it because I can't have it.
Yeah. But the reason why I asked about the question about your husband is because I feel like, okay, when my moment of realizing, oh my goodness, I have gained a lot of weight was October of last year. I didn't realize it at all until we went to a wedding. And then when we got back, I saw like the videos and the pictures. I was like, oh my God, my arm, like, I seen it. But my husband loved me through that. My husband, like I would have known, like he never said, babe, you're getting a little big, which of course your husband's not going to say. But I only say that to say like, I agree with you have to be happy with you because your husband I'm not gonna say they're gonna be happy regardless, but are they gonna tell you the truth? Because he ain't tell me. And then it's so funny because now that I am slimming down, he's like, yeah, babe, you all looking good. Your ass curving a little bit. He's seeing those. And so now, so it's just like, yes, I appreciate you accepting me at all phases of my life and, what it looked like. But, yeah, like, that, I guess that's what they're going to do because they're our spouses. But like you said, if you want to do something better for yourself, then absolutely do that. Because yes, you have to be good with you. And even though your spouse is, I'm sure, saying that you're beautiful and they mean it, you know what I'm saying? If you feel like you got a little bit of work to do, then I'm sure they appreciate you doing that little bit of work too,
Yeah, my husband just lost a lot of weight lately. And now I be like, dang, because I had love blinders on,
No,
I love
for sure.
you so much, so
you don't see it, but then until you see it, for sure,
I'm gonna love you, so that's why I say you can't wear their confidence out because their confidence is true, blinded by
exactly,
love, and so it is. They should tell us the truth, but their truth is not always gonna be our truth.
Exactly, because really and truly, when you love somebody, like you said, they're not. It's not like he was looking at me like, "Dang, my wife getting big." It wasn't until because he literally said this the other day. He was like, "Yeah, like honestly, I forgot, like that you was small. You reminded me of like when we first met, So yeah, we are just going through the motion with our spouses, and they love us, so it is what it is. But yeah, like you said, if you feeling some type of way about it, took for me to see me in that light to be like, "Ooh, I got to do something about this," So like you said, so that's why I was just wondering, like, is it enough? Because we see in social media, like, oh, your spouse, it shouldn't matter because you're married, or it shouldn't matter because you have a partner. But maybe it will matter to you. Maybe you don't want to be so comfortable where you're not taking care of you, or still trying to look your best, when you're maintaining these long relationships and marriages and things like that.
Because when you met your spouse, you loved yourself, and they fell in love with the love that you had for yourself.
Right.
So if you now give yourself this pass, I'm married, I don't gotta look like that. I'm married, but really you are dying on the inside because you're like, I'm big, I don't want that. He might say one thing about somebody he see on TV or something, now because you have that insecurity, you're like, oh, so you don't like how? But he's like, babe, I love you. Whoa, where did this come from? So they want the same way they fell in love with you because you loved yourself. You have to continue to love yourself, even if it's loving yourself fluffy.
Right, I agree.
You gotta just
for
learn.
sure.
You gotta be able to love yourself, because that's who they fell in love with.
Exactly. And as long as you good with you. That's why I said it took me to be like, oh, I'm not good with me to make that change. So, as long as you good with you, then that's all that matters. You got to learn to
love yourself. The
for
confidence,
sure.
You can have false confidence around people and sell it to them.
Right, yeah.
And if you can just be like, I'm confident where I'm at, they're going to be like, okay, babe, I see you.
Yes,
You're not where you were when we got married or whatever, but you still up here and here, you're still the same person. And I'm going to rock with that. If you want to get skinnier, you want to get back down to that weight, or if you want to, whatever the thing is for you.
Right.
You can with it.
No, I agree. And so I feel like, the more of the story is like you can be inspired by somebody else. You can admire somebody else and what they got going on. But as long as deep down inside, I feel like the thing about comparison that's hard is you don't know what people got going on behind closed doors. You don't know what somebody's situation really is. If you happy with your spouse, if you happy with yourself, if you happy with this, that, and the third, you said it earlier, gratitude. Be grateful of that. Be grateful for all that you do have, because just like you might be looking at somebody probably looking at you and wanting what you, well, whatever.
Be surprised how many people are really looking at you and what you feel like is complete dysfunction, but they are like, she is.
I know, right?
Feeling it,
right.
but you behind closed doors, like, I didn't do this.
Exactly.
I was going through that heavy a few months ago. I remember, like, very, very heavily, where I was like, would lay down at night. It would hit me at night. And I would get in bed at night. And I had learned, like, put your phone down and pray. You know, I was doing the thing where I was waking up at 3 a.m. on the dot. It was almost to where, like, I felt like I was getting shaken, waking up in my sleep. And I would look over, it would be 3 a.m. on the dot every day. And I would start, what they say now, crashing out. I'll be like, I said this and they probably didn't like that, and then I worded it this way, and just doubting myself. And I should have said this because other people would have said it like that. Just like, you said what you said.
Exactly.
You did what you did. You ate what you ate. Today is a new day. And
you got another opportunity to do it however you feel is the right way to do it, if you feel like you've been doing it wrong. And you just got to trust the process. Trust the process in your journey, because even another part of comparison that I felt like bothered me is when I was going through that phase of life where I was just confused about my career and I was just feeling down about myself. I would get on social media and I would see my peers doing everything that I feel like I used to do, interviewing this person or at this award show or doing all these things, when in my head, I felt like I wasn't doing nothing. But, I had to also, like, I may not be doing as much, but I had to, just that gratitude thing, right? Just appreciating where you are, trusting the process, and the little things that I was doing, I had to, like, take a step back and be like, okay, I might not be doing as much as I was doing, but I am still doing something. Like, just not being so hard. Like, I'm so hard on myself, especially when a comparison thing comes into place when you see other people. So, yeah, trusting the process and just knowing that, like, what's for you is for you, in that season. And, you don't have, like I said, you can admire and somebody from afar, but you have to be good with you and be grateful with what you got going on as well.
Yeah. And it's like a daily thing that you have to remind yourself how to be grateful for where you are.
Yes.
You have to remind yourself, I do have a beautiful family.
Yes.
If my girls' hair aren't.
Yes, of course. Done. Exactly.
I do have a beautiful family, even if me and my husband might be arguing right now.
Yes.
I do have a beautiful family, even if my car is a 07 and
exactly.
it's 2025.
Exactly. No, for sure.
You gotta know that it's okay. That's all right. Don't look at online, because you really don't know who is
renting or like you flexing in a Toro or something or whatever. That's what I be saying. You be looking at people thinking that they really don't even be that. Like, social media, I've even seen, I saw where you can, like, go on a plane and pretend like you're flying or something, like a private jet. I'm like, it's so many things out here where you can flex. Please be good with you. Because I promise you can. Yes, you can rent a plane and, like, they have so many different things. And I mean, I get it. Salute to the person who came out with the idea, because you're making money, because everybody want to flex. Everybody want to look like they doing something. Everybody want to be rich.
I'm gonna be honest. There is so much peace in being quiet and staying out the
way. That's why even people be like, oh, you don't go out no more. You don't do it. No, me and my husband, I feel like we have such an amazing relationship because we don't let outside stuff in. We have our select friends, and we don't be in a club, because why? What do we need to be in the club for? Unless if we're there together, that's one thing. But, like, I don't know, just everything works different for different people. But I just feel like that's what worked for me and him, because I just feel like me, and then too, probably because it's just my club life. Like, I was in the club so much. I know it come with the club. I know it come with the scene. Like, I ain't trying to be in there.
Yeah. I don't trust it. Yeah. I cannot. When I see people on there, I be like, dang, y'all are so outside. Like,
and no offense, do you, boo? Do you?
No, that's
do you?
That is
it's just not.
Fine,
it's just not for me.
I do just remember, and I went to the club and stuff. Period. Even when me and my husband, like, I think it was when we moved to Charlotte, we started having so much fun. Yeah. Getting sections. But it would be with, like, other married couples. Right. That's really how I like to get down.
Exactly.
And I have a lot of people, friends who are not married, and I hang out with them all the time. We have just as much fun. But it's not about being married. It's about being like-minded.
Yes, your mentality.
So, yeah. So even like if we take this back to the comparison thing, I think why it's not really the biggest thing in my life anymore, like it could have been at one point in time, is because I surrounded myself with like-minded people. Even my algorithms, they kind of are just like showing me the people that are like me,
right?
You know, so I'm not so worried about it. I'm not so caught up. I'm a crash out. I don't know what was happening to me a few months ago. I should have got my hormones checked. I don't know, but it was crazy. Yeah, but yeah, so I would say it's an everyday thing. We're always going to be comparing. They could be old as dust. I know there's old people who be... I work with old people. I know they be comparing.
J. Cole song, Love Yours. That's like the theme song of my life. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I'm feeling a moment of comparison, I turn that on. Love Yours. It's going to always be a bigger house. It's going to always be a nicer car. It's going to always be this. If you don't love yours, you will never be happy.
You literally get one life to live.
Facts.
You get one life to live.
People be living like you got an extra body hanging in the closet. One life.
You get one life to live. So if you don't love it right now, you're going to let it pass you by. Constantly be like, but they got this. They wore that. I got to keep up with this trend.
Exactly.
You know what's funny to me? This is a tidbit about influencers. They're constantly in a state of what is trending right now. So how authentic can you really be if you have to constantly jump on the trend
exactly.
to stay
you're not
relevant?
You're not. You're putting on for what people want to see, for sure.
I had that thought.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's why I can't. That's why I said it's and I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but that's just not the type of life. That's why I'm saying, like, I can't be the girl that's doing all that. I'm in the moment. I'm really enjoying my family. I'm not. I just can't do it. But I get it, because get your money, because you got you got the bag. You know what I'm saying?
The money. I love the ones who are getting it authentically. There are some. They're out there like, I'm just being me. I feel like you're one of them, for real. Because
but the level of, but I ain't down that level.
Like, I mean, you're growing, but you're doing better than a lot of people too.
I mean, yeah, but when we talk about authentic, how authentic can you be when everything you do, you're selling to somebody? How authentic can you be with that? Because for them, I feel like it's always a sale in all of their... I mean, when you think about it,
yeah, it's like, don't post that, don't do that shit, don't put that.
Well, I'm just saying, everything they're putting out, they're selling you, they're buying your attention, right? They're buying your attention with what. If you look at some of the top creators, I'm just saying, look at, okay, I don't want to put out no names, but yes, it's about a sale. Okay, they're doing these things every single day to keep you captivated. Why are you captivated? How are they entertaining you? Because they're showing you maybe their nice house and how they're swimming in the backyard in their pool and they're cooking on the grill with all they make. You know, it at the end of the day, I just don't feel like there's too much authenticity when you're at that level of influencing. And I mean, I hate to say it, but I feel like, I wonder how these influencer kids are going to be in 10, 20, 30 years.
I never thought about that.
Oh, I do.
That's crazy. Because
it's the same way of like when we seeing all this Nickelodeon stuff and how they messed up. And I'm not saying, I don't wish that. I'm hoping that nobody kids going to be messed up. But they're being not forced, but like, when you create a family page where you're vlogging every day, I mean, that's become their lives, to be like, that every single day. You're on camera, you're acting, have you watched some of these things? You know what I'm saying? They're like literally acting and, putting like, on every day.
Influencers, they have to put, like, they have full makeup come in every day and everything. Because I'm
not about that life. That's all I'm saying. I get it because you get in the bag, but I just wonder if it's going to be worth it in the end. Like, I don't know. That's just some of my things that I think about. Just with my kids.
For the ones who made it there.
Oh, I love it too.
Even if you had to fake it till you make it, you made it, girl. Now give us some of this. And I think a lot of them do that, where they get to a certain point. Well, they're starting to do it, where now they're showing us that authentic side.
I don't know. The ones I've seen, you got to send me some, because the ones I've seen, I feel like it'd be so fake. I'm like, oh my God. It's just so like, it's so fake. When they be making up these scenarios like, somebody's at the door. Oh my God, who's at the door? And then the kid's like, oh my God, I heard something. It's so scripted to me.
You mean like the TikTok people?
No, YouTube. Because that's where the money at, YouTube.
Oh.
I'm talking about the families and people that be on YouTube.
See, I probably don't follow enough. I follow a lot of lifestyle, and I feel like
that might be it.
I don't be on their YouTubes no more. So
okay.
maybe, but yeah,
I'm gonna have to send you some. Like I said, I ain't gonna put no names out there, but it's just people. My kids be watching. I be like, if y'all don't turn this off, it's too much. But anyways,
the kids ones,
it just be so scripted to me. I'm like, I can't. This is too much. Like,
who is yelling somebody at the door, child?
Yeah, they be like, they have these scenarios and stuff, and I'm just like, this is too much. But anyways, you got a mom truth this week?
A mom truth this week. I think I do have a mom truth this week.
Okay.
So, I was telling you earlier, I be saying it like everybody's in our conversation all the time. But yeah, so my mom truth this week is basically I can't deal with tantrums. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was overstimulated as heavens last night. Like, for men or kids though. I think sometimes men have tantrums. Mm-hmm. And I'm just trying to figure out, how do I deal with that going forward? Because it literally, tantrums take me out. Yeah. It's almost like it checks me out. Mm-hmm. Because once it starts, I'm like, either I'm going to go way up here with you, or I'm about to just shut the door and walk away. Yeah. I can't deal with it. So I don't know. Do your kids have tantrums?
Aya does, for sure. Especially in the morning if she doesn't get sleep. Like if I have to wake her up out of her sleep. Yeah, she did it this morning before we went to church. She just was crying for no reason. So yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, when my kids get tantrums, for my kids, they're like very lovey type kids. So like all I gotta do is like, okay, give me a hug. Come give me a hug. Come, let me rub you. Let me treat you like a baby. Because I think a part of that is because I have so many that are young. It's like they get pushed out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a baby, and then a year later, here comes baby James. 2 years later, here comes baby. So I feel like sometimes it just be them needing that, like, I need my mommy right now. And like just my mom. That's how I personally feel. So like a lot of the tantrums, especially with Aya, I feel like she just be wanting some love. So I picked her up. Yeah, some attention, some love. And that seems to work for I don't feel like doing it all the time because I'll be irritated. So I'm not saying that I give it to her every time like that. But I did notice that is an effective way to handle her tantrums. Just like give her some love and she'll be all right.
So mine is Kaya who's having the tantrums. And I'm like...
And Kaya is Aya's age, right? How old is Kaya?
They're like 2 weeks apart, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so makes sense. Mm-hmm. But Kaya be throwing stuff. It's an anger.
Yeah. Aya's the same way. Aya will kick, she'll hit, she'll do all that.
Yeah, she tore her sister up last night. Yeah. And I wanted to tear her up.
Try to just give a hug next time.
I did let her lay on me.
Yeah.
I called my mom to tell her, and she was like, you didn't whip her, but I'm like, no, I didn't, Mom. Honestly, I'm going to be real with you. I have been with them by myself going on like 13 hours at that point. Mm-hmm. And while I've done it before, I was quite honestly over it. Mm-hmm. And I needed to understand, why are you giving off so much anger right now? So, I let her lay on my chest. She fell asleep. And then I let her wounded sister lay on my chest, too.
Yeah, aww.
But I can't handle it. And I say kids and men because I'm like, sometimes when my husband be like, I'll tell him, I was like, I think you're throwing a tantrum right now. He's like, no, I'm not. Yeah. But, like, it looks different, of course, than a child. But I just be like, it just shuts me down. Mm-hmm. I have absolutely no energy to give to acting out.
No, I get that too. I get that.
Anyway, and I know I can't ignore it and walk away. So I prayed a lot. I'll say I really asked God, like, God, I don't know how to deal with this, and I need you to deal with it. I take everything to Him. And so when I did that, He was like, literally quieted me. Mm-hmm. Now I don't even. Before I'd be like, oh my God, I get so worked up. Nope. Yeah. Now I'll be like, are you okay? Yeah. And I literally feel like I can't even take my voice up.
Right. Just stay calm.
Everything I do, I guess I just have to pray and talk to Him about it. And really, in due time, He will work it out. But that's my mom truth.
Yeah. Well, amen to that.
Do you have one?
I don't have a mom truth this
okay.
week. I'm gonna hop on a bandwagon of the tantrums and just trying to figure that out. I mean, in due time, it will pass. So we got it. Just got to keep hanging in there.
We got this. Keep yourself encouraged. Stay off
Yes.
social media. Take your breaks.
Yes, take your breaks for sure.
How week long, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever you need.
Mm-hmm.
Take the break from whatever it is that is taking your attention,
Yes.
from whatever it is that is consuming you, so you can be your whole and authentic self. Because whoever you are, however you are showing up right now, the world needs you. So don't let all the outside distractions keep you bound.
Exactly. I agree. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode today. Make sure you like,
comment,
subscribe, and we will see you next Wednesday right here, same time, same place. Peace.